What is going on, YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back for some more live Pokemon Showdown. Today we are jumping back into the RU tier, and yeah, we're gonna have some fun at the bottom of the RU ladder as always. Let's have some fun. Bringing the same team as last time, of course. Didn't really get a whole lot of opportunities to record this week, so I'm gonna try to sit down and record a couple of videos for you guys for over the weekend and the early part of next week. And of course, we also have the stream coming up as well, so if you want to tune into that, we're going to be doing part 2 of Pokemon Coliseum, most likely on Saturday. I'm not sure exactly what time yet. I'll probably let you guys know on Twitter, but it's most likely It's most likely going to be around the same time as the last one, so if you want to check that out, either on YouTube after the fact or come out to the stream itself, that is that. So we're getting into a battle here. We've got Puff Daddy the Quillfish, and we've got Ambipom leading things off, so we get the Intimidate off, which is fantastic. Thought about going right into Steelix, but I wanted to get the Intimidate going. And I also want to get some Spikes going as well, because as I can see from the team preview here, he does not have any way to remove hazards at all. He also doesn't have anything weak to hazards, but getting up some Spikes and Stealth Rocks and stuff can be very helpful. And that Fake Out did like 25% even at -1. That is crazy. He had a couple of options the following turn to either go for the U-turn like what he did, or to go for the knockoff there to get rid of my recovery, but he decides to switch out into the Gothitelle. I'm actually kind of surprised that this thing fell all the way down to RU, but I guess it is to be expected because, you know, really the only reason it's ever used is Shadow Tag, and Shadow Tag is, I believe, not legal below OU. So yeah, so even though it says you might be trapped, so you won't be able to cancel the switch, just kidding, I will be able to cancel the switch. Or you won't be able to cancel the switch. What does that even mean? You won't be able to cancel the switch? Okay, I mean, I don't care. I'm gonna switch anyway. It doesn't really matter. I'm not about to have this thing die, and I'm not going to go into Cosmo and set up because it could go for Thunderbolt, so my best middle play here is to go out into Margot and take that Thunderbolt very nicely, and of course we're going to get paralyzed. That freaking 10% chance does not work in our favor. I want to click Knockoff, I really do, but I'm going to click Relic Song because I would like to get into my Pirouette form, and then I can kill something with Knockoff. The Jellicent's going to come in, and yeah, Relic Song, not the right play to make. I should have just clicked Knockoff. It's my best bet to get the most damage on just about everything except for Camerupt. Look at that, 75% of this Jellicent, and I'm not even in Pirouette form. That is ridiculous. I can't talk. I can't pronounce words. Can't do anything. He's just gonna spam Recover now because I'm losing health because of Life Orb, and he's just waiting, hoping and praying to every Hax God that I just get fully paralyzed so he gets all his health back. I'm going to click Knockoff one more time in case he scalds. He does not. Thankfully, we do not get fully paralyzed, and now I'm going to have to make the switch into Marcus. He's going to get the free recover, obviously, but it's better than just being stuck out into Meloetta when I can use it for Death Fodder later on. I'm going to click Pursuit here in case he wants to save this thing, and we get a critical hit, but it doesn't kill, so there's no way he switched. He stayed into Toxic Me instead of Scald. I don't know why he did that. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I could have gone into Sneasel like 2 turns before, but what I did not want to happen was I did not want to switch Marcus in on a Scald, because you know that if that happened, I would get burned, and that's just not really what I'm looking to do to poor Marcus here. So we're going to switch into Steelix as he goes into the Jolteon, because Jolteon really can't do anything to Steelix. I mean, it has to have like HP ground or fighting, and even then, really not that effective. So he's going to pull the switch out into his Tangrowth, as I kind of predicted that he would. So I wanted to set up the Stealth Rocks, get more hazard damage going, which is really going to add up in conjunction with the Life Orb on Ambipom, and he could have the Life Orb going on the Jolteon too. We don't know. We do not know because we blocked the Volt Switch. So now I'm going to click Knockoff as he shows off a knockoff of his own on the Tangrowth. Of course he would have Knockoff. Of course he would have Knockoff. I'm actually somewhat surprised that he actually went for the Sleep Powder as I switched in Meloetta to begin with, because I had a paralyzed Pokemon and a toxic Pokemon. Why would you click Sleep Powder there? I really don't know. I mean, I was just sacrificing Meloetta, so it really didn't mean anything. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Now, Tangrowth actually causes a huge problem for my team. I don't have anything that can one-shot it unless I get some Calm Mind boosts up on my Sigilyph, but that is not the case here. And my Flame Worm isn't activated, so I do not want to be put to sleep. So I'm going to go out to Marcus, who is not going to be too useful for the rest of this battle anyway, especially with that Jellicent gone. I mean, I guess for the Gothitelle, but I have other things that can handle that. So I need to get some prior damage, got the Icicle Crash off, and now what I can do is I can catch this hopefully off guard with a Fire Blast here. A lot of people don't expect Flygon to be special and to carry the Fire Blast, and so yeah, he's just going to leave the Tangrowth in to try to Sleep Powder me probably, and we get rid of Tangrowth, which is honestly the biggest problem on this team. With that gone, that opens a lot of windows for us to be able to pull in a victory here. So he's going to go out into Ambipom. He takes the, what is it, like 24% from all the hazards. And, well, no, not quite that much. A little bit less than that. The first spike is like 6% or something, or 8%. It's not 12. I was thinking Stealth Rock is 12. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to go into Steelix here and hope that he does not click Low Kick and make me cry. He does not, thankfully. He goes for the Fake Out, and he takes more damage because of Life Orb than we take because of the actual attack. And now, he has no resistances and no immunities to ground, so I can just click Earthquake with Tangrowth gone. If Tangrowth was there, I would probably click Roar, but because it's not there, I don't need to worry about racking up the hazard damage. I just click Earthquake. He switches in Camerupt of all things, lets it die, and then forfeits. So we can go ahead and find another battle now. As again with the Jolteons, my god, these things are on every freaking team. I played a couple of practice games, and I've had some failed recordings because my mic and face cam were not all synced up, so I ended up forfeiting those battles. But like, almost every team had a Jolteon. I think only one team out of the 6 or so that I saw did not have the Jolteon, and my computer is lagging again. It's causing so many problems. I really hope it does not throw off the sync on my face cam and audio again, or I will probably cry. I will probably cry, especially because last time it happened about like 20 minutes into the video and it was just unusable. So I had to re-record, and it's like, Alright, so we have Jolteon leading things off here against Bruno, which is a good matchup for us. Jolteon cannot touch me, and I can just get up my Stealth Rocks, because yet again, my opponent does not have any way to remove the hazards. So yeah, might as well get the damage going. He also doesn't have anything that's weak to rocks, so I can understand not necessarily wanting to waste a slot on a Rabbit Spinner or Defogger, but that is that. Tangrowth is a problem. I can't really do anything to it. At least not with Steelix. I'm going to have to play around it a little bit. Every time I see Tangrowth on a team, it is, with this setup that I have now, is like the biggest problem. So I'm going to go out into Cosmo. Hope he doesn't go for Sleep Powder. I was really hoping for the Leech Seed there, and thankfully we got it. Because we get our Flame Orb activated, and it's just a good time. So I can click Psycho Shift and give something a burn. He does not have any Clerics on his team. He has nothing with Natural Cure or anything. So I have no problem doing that, as before I get my Flame Orb to burn me again, he's going to knock it off, which is something I wasn't really anticipating. I wasn't thinking that he was going to stay in, because Air Slash would do a lot to a Tangrowth, which does not have good special defense. He's going to go out into the Chinchino here, as I am going to Air Slash him. That does 57%. That is a bit crazy. And now we're going to have a Rock Blast and or a Tail Slap coming our way. Most likely a Rock Blast. So I could go out into Bruno. I could do that. Or I could go out into Quillfish, but the Tail Slap could do a decent chunk even at -1. Decisions. I think Steelix is probably my best play here. Everything else takes a decent from whatever this thing wants to attack with, and he does indeed go for the Rock Blast. 0.6%, 0.8%, gets 2 critical hits in a row, 1.1 and 1.4%, and then the last attack back down to 0.8%. That did 0, basically. Even after 5 hits, that did a total of like 4%, something like that. That's outrageous. He stays in to go for Bullet Seed. I clicked Roar there because I really figured Tangrowth was surely coming in, and I flinched. Okay, I see how it is. You were gonna stay in and try to flinch me to death with a Bullet Seed Chinchino on a Mega Steelix with base Infinity Defense on an attack that's doing 3.1/3.4% damage with each hit. Are you freaking kidding me right now? I hate people, I swear. I freaking hate it when people do stuff like that. It's like, come on, man. Come on now. I know we're at the bottom of the ladder, but have some self-respect. Jeez. Okay. So, thankfully, Bruno was able to break through, and we got past all those shenanigans. That's Showdown for you. That is Showdown. I'm going to go into Cosma here, hoping to catch a Will-O-Wisp, and that is exactly what my opponent gives me, so we got a little bit lucky there, because if it went for, like, Knockoff or Shadow Sneak, we're basically dead. So I can now burn something again. I don't think he's going to go back out into the Tangrowth, and if he does, I'll just Air Slash it. Yeah, so he's probably going to stay in here. I just don't know what he's going to go for. Maybe Knockoff, but I can burn it first and maybe survive the attack. Actually, we see the Protect. Protect Mega Bayonet. That is interesting. This could be Protect Disable, so I'm going to click Air Slash, and he does show off the Disable there. Air Slash does not do very much at all unboosted. That did 27%. I guess, I mean, I could Calm Mind, but he could just very easily go into Jolteon and probably just kill me anyway. As we found out in the last part, even with some boost up, Jolteon still just poops all over the place. And it's not pretty poop. It doesn't smell nice. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant at all. So we actually survived the Shadow Sneak there. I thought we were just going to die this turn. But we get another Air Slash off. I guess I could have roosted. No, that did more than half. I'm going to switch out here. He has to go for Shadow Sneak again, and that is what he does. So we get a free switch into Margot. And I don't expect a Will-O-Wisp here. So I'm just going to click Knockoff as the Muck comes in. So he's saving that Bayonet. We get a nice 32% off on the Muck. We get rid of its Black Sludge. And from what I've seen of this team so far and the way this person is playing, this is undoubtedly a Curse Muck. It has to be. It has to be a Curse Muck, which means Steelix is generally a good switch-in, although it can also carry Fire Punch. Sometimes you do see it carry that for Ferroseed and for Steelix. So, there's really nothing that it can carry that will do anything to Quillfish. Unless it gets Thunder Punch, I've never seen it carry that. But we're going to see here. We get the Intimidate, so with the Curse, it gets back up to a neutral thing. He knows I'm going to taunt it here. He has to, so he's most likely going to switch because he can't touch me. So I'm going to set up a layer of spikes here, I think, because he's going to go into Jolteon. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to stay in and continue to Curse on a Quillfish that he cannot touch. Please, you better not have freaking Thunder Punch. I will cry myself to sleep tonight if you do. Okay, he's just going for Gunk Shot. Even at +1, that's not doing enough. He's going to have to hit 3 of them. He hit the one there at the 36%, and he is taunted, so he cannot set up further, at least not for now. So I could Waterfall him for some damage. He is at +2 defense, so it's really not going to do that much. Can just set up another layer of spikes here. I mean, there's really nothing stopping me. Go ahead and do that. He goes for the Fire Punch, predicting me to go out into Steelix there. He was really trying to bait the Steelix. But I did not fall for it, and so he's just going to stay in, go for the Gunk Shot again. One more Gunk Shot will kill me, so I will need a flinch or a miss of the Gunk Shot to survive, or a low roll. But that 34% that he got last time was a lower roll than the first time he hit. And he's going to miss the Gunk Shot, so the Hack's Gone smiling down on Puff Daddy here. Yay! So we get the Black Sludge. That means that we should be able to survive one more hit unless we get like a super high roll or something. But I'm going to taunt him here. I could just feel that he was going to try to set up more curses. This is working out well. A flinch would be great. We don't get it. The gunk shot does hit. So now one more attack will take us out. Unless we get a flinch. If we get a flinch, we can take this thing out. But we also haven't seen... Yeah, we also have not seen the Shadow Sneak. And there it is. Gets the critical hit. I don't think that mattered at all. Well, maybe it did. If gunk shot is stab, it was doing 31. Maybe that did matter. It's possible we could have survived that, just barely. But he would have killed me the following turn. And there's really nothing I can do about it. So it would have been an extra... How much was Waterfall doing? 13 to 15%. Which really does not mean anything whatsoever. I'm going to go out into Margot here. We should be able to kill this just barely with a Relic Song, get into our Pirouette form, and essentially force him into Jolteon. Even Jolteon I don't think will kill us from here. Actually, it doesn't kill. Muck survives with 4%, and we get the sleep hacks. The hacks has been like all on our side in this one. That is crazy. That is crazy, and that is really unfortunate for my opponent because a gunk shot would have killed me easily. That's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Gonna go into the Jolteon now because he pretty much has to, or she. Let's see. Do I want to sacrifice Cosma? I don't know. It's possible. Because then I could get a safe switch into Steelix. Or I could just go right into Steelix. And we're gonna live life on the edge here, go right into Steelix, and it decides to go for the Thunderbolt. I don't know why. I have 2 ground types. Why are you spamming electric type attack? That is not safe at all. I know it's your most powerful attack, but that's just not a safe play there. So we see the hidden power come out. I'm guessing that's grass for Rhyperiors, I would assume. I don't know what else it would be. Ice, I guess. But the Jolteon goes down. And this person's going to forfeit, so that is a second victory for us. We have time for one more battle, it looks like. Yeah, we're about 17 minutes in, so we are good here. This is a very fast offensive team if I've ever seen one. Excelgor and Jolteon on the same team, and then you've got Delphox and Primeape, which are 2 common Choice Scarf users. Either one of them could be Choice Scarf, or both of them. And then you've got the Mega Glalie as well. It also has access to the Priority and Ice Shard. This is a fast team that's going to hit hard. I don't know what he's going to lead off with. Maybe the Excelgor? No, it's a Seismitoad. Okay. I was hoping the Excelgor so I could hit with a Fire Blast and kill it, but going to have to U-turn out here. That means that this Seismitoad is going to get up at Stealth Rocks. That does not harm my team too much. Marcus obviously does not really like that, but the rest of the team just doesn't care. You know, Sigilyph doesn't even get hurt by it at all, and Steelix resists it, and, you know, it's not that bad. Not that bad. So I could get my Flame Orb off if I go into Cosma here, but I can also take hits relatively well with Meloetta. Meloetta actually kind of just tears apart his team. He doesn't really have any switch-ins. He also has 3 Pokemon that are weak to Rock and no hazard control at all. Curious. Normally if you have that many Rock weak Pokemon, you try to have some type of support for that. But I'm going to go into Margot here in case he wanted to go for like Scald or something. But he just decides to go for the Stealth Rocks. Actually, Scald could have been bad if I got burned. But he goes into the Excelgor. That takes 67% from that Relic Song. That's crazy. That is craziness. And now I can just click Facade. We actually outspeed the Excelgor, so that was a bulkier variant. I'm guessing it was running some HP to be able to Final Gambit some things and pick up some KOs that way, but man, Excelgor is gone. It got no damage up, it got no hazards going, it got nothing. So that is fantastic. We were off to a pretty decent start despite the rocks on our side of the field. Jolteon has to be what he goes into here, I would think. No, he goes out into Joey the Primeape. This is Scarfed. It has to be. By the way, he's bringing it in here. So I'm going to predict a close combat, and I can go either into Cosma or I can go into Puff Daddy. Actually, he could go for U-turn too. So in that case, I mean, Quillfish is my safest play. So I'm going to go into Quillfish. I don't think he's going to go for Earthquake here. And no, he just goes for the close combat. So he's going to get the defense drops. And he's going to want to hard switch into Jolteon this turn. Or Seismitoad, either one. I will go for the Spike here. because the hazards are going to be up to stay. He does go into Rita, the Jolteon. It's a pretty cool name for a Jolteon. I like it. I can see Jolteon being a Rita. I can understand that. I'm going to make the switch right into Steelix as we see the Shadow Ball do 45%. It was a pretty decent play on my opponent's part to not go for the electric type move. Finally, like Jolteons just love to spam electric type moves despite having multiple ground types or electric immune Pokemon. They just do it. I mean, they're just doing what their trainer tells them to do, but still, stop spamming Thunderbolt. He's going to go back into Seismitoad here. The question is, do I set up the rocks? Do I click Earthquake? I'm going to click Earthquake just in case he wanted to leave it in and over-predict, predicting me to go. Seismitoad is just so fat. We do survive the Scald, so we're going to get our rocks up anyway, but Steelix is gone. And that instantly means that Jolteon is a win condition for my opponent. Easily. Unless it has HP Grass. If it has the HP Ice, Flygon cannot handle it. If it does have the HP Grass or HP anything that's not Ice, Flygon can take it on. It can take one hit at least. As long as we don't get critted. Oh, man. Alright. So, Steelix is gone. And I guess we can go back out into Margot here. So, back out into it we go. And I can click Relic Song. He has no Ghost types. I don't know if he's going to want to stay in. He knows I am the Pirouette form. I'm just going to click Relic Song. He's probably going to try to Scald me. Please don't get a burn. Please do not get a burn. Okay, no burn. So now we get a kill, basically. He has no switch-ins. Especially because that Primeape is Scarf and that Delphox is not Scarf. It's maybe Specs or Life Orb or something else. So he's not going to switch in Primeape. That could also potentially be a win condition because it will take out Sneasel. So I'm just going to click Close Combat here. If he were to switch in the Delphox, I can immediately click Knockoff after that. I do outspeed it. So I was in a good position there to pick up a kill. He's just going to let the Seismitoad go down. And he's going to go right into the Glalie for the very predictable Ice Shard here. I can easily eat that up with Quillfish. And save. I'm thinking that's what I want to do here. Because... yeah, I mean, that Jolteon and Primeape core is so dangerous. My team does not match up well against that at all. Especially with Steelix gone. Because it can at least absorb a couple of hits from the Jolteon. I don't think this is going to end well. I don't have enough switch-ins is the problem. The only way I'm going to win is if that Jolteon does not have HP Ice, basically. I can foresee it now. I can see it. Marcus obviously is not a good switch. I guess I have to go into Puff Daddy here. I really don't have any other option. I don't have very many plays. It's either go into Quillfish or let Margot go down. Do I let Margot go down? No, I'm going into Puff Daddy. He's going to go for Ice Shard. He has to. Absolutely has to. Yeah, there it is. Whopping 7%. We took more from the Stealth Rocks. But he could have Earthquake. I don't think that's going to kill me at -1. So we have the option to either Waterfall this, Thunder Wave it, or set up another Spike here. I don't want him going right into Jolteon, but I don't think he's going to do that. He's just going to click Earthquake. That does not kill. We do get the paralysis off, and we have a chance to get up a layer of spikes and then rely on something else to kill it that can survive an Ice Shard, which does not look like very much. Yeah, I'm going to have to go for the damage here. I mean, if I can get the flinch or the para... See, I have to para flinch it. That's what you get when you have Waterfall and Thunder Wave on the same set. I pretty much have to Waterfall here. And then I could go into Sneasel and kill it with a knockoff, which will do a solid chunk to anything on his team. And if he goes out into Primeape, I get rid of the Choice Scarf. Delphox obviously will probably get O-Code after the hazards. Yeah, I'm going to Waterfall. We get the 35% off, and he just goes for Explosion. So he breaks through, does not get the flinch or the para. That is fine by me. That is fine by me because I was totally just relying on hacks right there. So for that to backfire, I'm okay with that. I can handle that. So now I'm in a good position because what we can do is we can use Margot as death fodder right now to figure out what he's going to go into. And he decides to go out into Joey, the Primeape again, which we know is Choice Scarf. And we can just sacrifice this. He's probably going to go for a U-turn. I'll just click knockoff. And so now he's going to take extra hazard damage on whatever he goes into. And we can then adjust from there and decide what we want to go into. So he's going to go out into Lavanda, the Delphox. And this is like begging for Sneasel to just come in and get a kill right here. But after that is what I'm worried about. This Delphox does not really pose a threat to me. He cannot Oko Flygon, I don't think, even though he outspeeds it. So I should be able to kill it with an Earth Power if I wanted to. But I'm worried about that Jolteon. I think this is really going to come down to whether or not that Jolteon has HP Ice, and I guarantee you it does. Guarantee you it does. Even though HP Grass is better in RU, this one will have HP Ice. So I'll go for knockoff. Obviously, that's my only play, and the Delphox is going to go down there, and now he's going to go out into, it doesn't really matter what, but he's going to go out into the Primeape, taking more hazard damage. He could U-turn, he could close combat, and this is where it gets really nitty-gritty here. If I predict him to lock himself into close combat, I can try to go into Cosma, because I quad resist close combat, and U-turn's not going to do that much to me. Do I really need to preserve the Ice Shard? That is the question. I think my best bet here is to go into Cosma. If he U-turns, I'm kind of screwed. I mean, it really doesn't matter because U-turn would kill Sneasel anyway. So, like, I was about to have something die regardless. He decides to go for the U-turn, goes into Rita again, taking the extra hazard damage, but it's really not going to matter. It's not going to be enough. I don't foresee, even if it were to switch out and switch back in again with Life Orb damage, I don't know that a Life Orb Ice Shard would be enough to kill it. My gosh, that was brutal trying to get that sentence out. Thunderbolt obviously just kills me here. It's Life Orb, so it can switch attacks. I gotta try to make a play, so I'm gonna go into Flygon. He does go for the Thunderbolt there, and we're gonna see right now whether this thing has HP Ice or not, and this is what it all comes down to here. Do you have HP Grass? You do not have HP Grass. You have the HP Ice, so that is going to be a victory for our opponent. That was actually a great battle, especially for a lower ladder match. I was kind of worried about this session because I didn't get the ladder up, that it was going to be awful. But we had a couple of good battles, and we're going to get the loss on this one, but I'm okay with that. Freaking Jolteon, man, it causes problems. Let's see. I guess I'll just click Ice Shard. Maybe we can get a crit here? That would be awesome. We can win if we get a crit. And actually, if we got like a slightly higher damage roll, maybe we could even pull it out. Actually, no, it's going to still be a couple % short. So he's going to survive. He's going to go down to Life Orb Recoil this turn, but it's not going to matter. They give the guy GG there. And yeah, that is going to be it for this part and the battle and all that. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, or whatever you want to call it. Like I said, we have the stream coming up in a few days or tomorrow, depending on when this video goes up, and we'll have another part with this team coming up probably later this week, or I guess it would be early next week because we are at the end of the week now. But that is it for this time. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you're leaving a like, rating, or a comment, or whatever you like to do, and I will see you all next time. But until then, game on!